Hi, welcome to our first official day of following Rhonda Britton's best-selling book, Change Your Life in 30 Days. I'm Amy Mead, certified fearless living coach and certified fearless trainer, and I'm also the owner and chief healing officer for Divine Willow Wellness. And I can't wait to dive in and change my life with you. So, day one is all about being true to yourself. So, what does being true to yourself mean? And it comes down to being honest with yourself, being real with yourself. And you might think, I'm honest with myself. I don't lie to myself. But what often happens, and I know this can be true for me, is that you say the things you think you should say or do the things you think you should do. And they may not be exactly what you want. It may be what someone else wants or what you think someone else expects of you. And this can happen all the time, especially when you have a family or a close circle of friends or you're part of a community. You sometimes feel like this is what you're supposed to do, and you do that instead of exactly what you want. So, day one is all about figuring that out. And if you're being true to yourself, then what is it that you really want? So when you strip away all of the shoulds and supposed tos and what other people expect of you and all of those things and come down to exactly what you want, what does that look like? And that's what we're going to change over the next 30 days. So I want you to really be honest with yourself and think about what it is that you want to change. That one thing that if you did differently would change your life. And I also want to offer that I will share my process throughout these 30 days. So I have something that I would like to change. And every day I'll share with you my process of getting through it and working towards changing my own life. And what I really appreciate about Rhonda's book is that each day has one topic, a tool, or a practice for us to try. And they all build on each other. So, over the course of 30 days, it'll be miraculous what we're able to accomplish. But each day, there's only one new tool or practice. So we just have to focus on that one thing every day. And it's important that we focus. So these next 30 days are an investment in our futures. So we need to be focused and we need to really put effort into it. And we're going to do this together. So I'm here to support you, and we'll meet back every day right here to hold each other accountable. You can hold me accountable. And feel free to share your own process and what you're working towards and what you're doing and the progress that you're making in the comments. I would love to hear it. So, back to what I'm going to change. So, when I'm being true to myself and I think about areas where maybe I'm doing the things I'm supposed to instead of what I really want, I find that a lot of times those other things that seem like the nice to haves, it feels like I don't have enough time for them. But in reality, I think I'm just not using my time as effectively as I could, if I'm being honest with myself. So I have a regular, what I call my regular job, and my 9 to 5. And then I have my business, Divine Willow Wellness. And I have the normal chores, cleaning the house. I have 2 dogs. I have 3 kids. I have a lot of stuff that takes up time during the week and on the weekends. So things like getting regular exercise or really expanding my business and working on my products, it seems like there's not a ton of time for that. So, what I wanted to work on over these next 30 days is creating a schedule that allows me more time to work on those other things. So, what I want to be clear about here, and this is critically important for day one and how we're going to start this process off right, we have to get really specific. So, you want to be really honest with yourself in what you want to do, and then you want to be really specific about exactly what that means. So, I'll give you an example. So I want to spend more time on some other things. So what I wrote down, and I'll read this from my notes, I want to create a daily and weekly routine that includes more time for physical activity, more connection with friends, and more time to work on my business. So after you get your initial statement down of what you want, I want you to go back and define any words that could be ambiguous, anything that could be more specific. So when I look at this, it says physical activity. Okay, well, physical activity could mean a lot of things. So, what do I mean by physical activity? And for me, I sit in front of a computer most of the day. My 9 to 5 is in front of a computer. My business oftentimes has me in front of a computer. And it's not often that I get up to do some physical activity other than cleaning the house. So I so one thing that I decided to add to my schedule to help meet my goal is to spend 30 minutes a day doing some sort of physical activity, either walking my dogs or doing some yoga, or maybe just doing some more strenuous yard work or other things around the house. So I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day doing some more physical activity that I've defined as walking the dogs, doing yoga, or doing some more strenuous yard work. So I took my statement of, I want more time for physical activity, and I made it even more specific. So I'm actually defining what physical activity means. So that way there's no question about what I need to do to meet my goals and change my life. Also, when I look at this, it says more connection with friends. What does connection mean? So right now we're in this pandemic with all of this coronavirus stuff. I've been home and my friends have been home, and seeing them face to face sometimes isn't an option. And you know, I think it would be great to get them on Zoom or to do a video chat once in a while, but in reality, we're all really busy too. We have jobs and kids and families and pets and all sorts of things. So I'm going to define more connection with friends as text or email. So, as much as I would like to connect face to face more with them, I think right now it's realistic that if I just set aside some time to send out some emails and check in with people, see how they're doing, or send texts, I think that would help me to feel more connected. So, I'm going to define connection with friends as texting or emailing. And I'm going to say at least 2 friends per week. And we'll see how I feel. And if I think, okay, that's enough connection, great. And if I feel like after I've started that I still don't feel like I'm getting enough connection, I can adjust it. So the last one is more time to work on my business. And I've actually been putting a lot of time into my own business lately, but I think what I'm feeling is that I don't have concrete time set aside. So I always feel like I'm just picking things up when I can instead of having set hours or set time that I'll spend on my business. And I think that would make me feel more organized and more successful. So I'm going to say 2 hours per day to work on my business. So when I put that all together, what I have as my goal for this next 30 days is I want to create a daily and weekly routine that includes at least 30 minutes of physical activity per day, defined as walking, yoga, or strenuous yard work. More time to connect with friends, defined as texting or emailing at least 2 friends per week. And more time to work on my business, which is defined as 2 hours per day. So that's my goal for the next 30 days. And I'm excited that you're here with me to see how this plays out. And, once you have your goal, so you've been specific and you've defined all your ambiguous words and you have your set goal, I want you to write it down. And I want you to write it down and put it somewhere that you're going to see every day. Maybe, on your journal next to your bed, or on the mirror in your bathroom, or on your counter where normally you keep your keys, right? Put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day to remind you that that's what you're working towards. We are working towards a goal. And my goal is to have that schedule that allows me the time that I want for the things that I want. So think about what it is that you're going to do for the next 30 days. And as I said, feel free to pop it in the comments. I'd love to see it. And, we'll work on it together. So for now, work on, deciding what you're going to do to change your life. Remember that we are investing in ourselves. We are investing in the lives we have to create the lives we want. And we're going to get there together in 30 days. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2. I can't wait.